Right now, catch the buzz.
Whoa. Everything's in the blade.
There's gonna be no shortcuts this week, so we're building the world's largest hair clippers, and we're going for a Guinness World Record.
I'll tell you, these things are seriously dangerous.
Don't cut anyone's hair, because it could be fatal.
You may cut hair, but you also cut ears and arms and...
Hands, fingers, knees, and toes, knees and toes.
Find out who makes the cut. This week, I'm big.
Ever since Leo Wall patented the handy hair clipper in 1919, the world hasn't been the same. The flat top, the mohawk, the mullet.
The big advantage of the clippers is a quicker haircut, and time is money.
But that's not enough for big. My team's gonna try to set the Guinness World Record for the biggest set of hair clippers in history, and they only have 5 days to do it. We're gonna set this record in a big way. A regular set of hair clippers is about 7 inches long. Ours will be almost 17 feet. Hair clippers do their cutting by sliding one blade of teeth against another stationary blade. Most clippers use a vibrating motor, which converts AC power into alternating pulses and an electromagnet. This magnet repels and attracts the arm, which holds one of the blades, moving it back and forth against the other.
Scott Melton from the Wall Clipper Corporation will be joining the team as they attempt to set this record.
I've been an engineer at Wall for 18 years. I'm pretty sure I can help you out.
The big team is like a deck of high cards. Gadget, the ace of engineering.
The best part of being a designer on big is getting in the record books, all this stuff. I love being the designer of these things. I mean, that's what I do.
Wink, the mechanical king.
I see Lisa. I see Jan.
Lisa, the queen of steel.
I want this record. When it comes to something as important as records, I mean, I feel like this is part of my legacy I leave behind.
And although Eric is a jack of all trades, he's always playing the wild card.
Taking all of your negative attitude and directing it towards a more positive, motivational style of building.
Eric's a wild man. There's no doubt about it.
I was always yelled at and told, don't act like that, don't do that, you're never going to, building metal things don't work. Now I'm getting paid to act like this and all these people think I'm not supposed to.
61.
Whoa, check that again. Might be off.
Gadget gets started by cutting the steel tubing that will form the skeleton of the clippers.
Now, are you gonna cut this one on this side of the line or that side of the line?
I'm making a line disappear.
I like that. I like that one.
Once the frame is complete, the body of the world's largest clippers will be clad in brushed aluminum.
Ready to go.
That one on the corner?
Okay.
When scaling up to a ratio like 30:1, extra care must be taken to ensure everything is level and square.
How many big fabricators does it take to put together a frame? Toes, hands, fingers, knees, and toes, knees, toes, hands, fingers, knees, and toes, knees, and toes. Hands, fingers, knees, and toes, knees, and toes. All right, everybody up. Ready? Hands, fingers, knees, and toes, knees, and toes.
Knees and toast? What? Knees
And
and
if you guys
toast?
don't like it, I can be silly.
Lisa gets busy fusing the framework. A few quick blasts, and Lisa has knocked out the first square of the frame.
What do you think? Picture frame. Let me see. Cute.
Gadget sets up the lengthwise bars. And Lisa takes the frame into 3 dimensions. Frank is off to Barber College to learn how to use normal-sized clippers.
The first mechanical hair clippers were invented by Henry Leyland. He also designed one of the first Cadillac automobiles, kind of like the one I'm driving now. I'm at the RHI, the Royal Hair Institute of Whittier, California, where I'm going to learn the whats, wheres, and whys of hair clipping. It takes 9 to 10 months of full-time training to become a barber. Oh, man, the bell.
Good morning, class. Today we're going to be going over clipper maintenance and cleaning.
Sorry I'm late, Mr. G.
All right, thank you, Frank. Go ahead and take a seat, please.
Right there?
Right
Okay.
there. As you all know, the clippers out of the barber are one of the most important things that you will be using. Everything you do is based around a clipper cut. Your fades, your flat tops, everything you do. So it is very, very important that these are maintained in proper working order. Number one, we remove all excess hair from your clipper. Step two, you're gonna wash with blade wash. Okay, step three, you have to dry them thoroughly because if you leave too much oil in between your blades, they do not cut well. And then go ahead, dry it off, and your blade is ready to go. Frank, you ready to do your first haircut?
Yeah, sure. Okay, are you looking for anything special today, Mario?
Just a basic paper cut.
A paper cup? I'm looking at your head. I kind of like see something else. I have a really good eye for a head. Yeah, trust me on this one, okay?
Okay.
All right, good man. I'm gonna turn on the machine. Don't be nervous, don't be scared. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's see. Let's see, take it down a bit here, a little bit more here. Oh, yeah. Get a little bit of this off. Ooh. Close your eyes. Huh? Huh? What do you think, huh? Spinning around? How's you look? Nice, huh? Oh.
This will be our biggest build yet, 30 times scale. So that'll make it about 16.5 feet long.
One thing about a vibrator motor, that if you scale that blade up 30 times, this is going to be pretty heavy. And if I have to throw that back and forth, there's going to be a lot of vibration.
Wink explains another reason why the team will have to modify the clipper's design.
When you scale up, you need more torque. If we tried to build an electromagnet that would be strong enough for our clippers that we have, it would probably weigh 450 and 500 pounds just in copper wire alone, the windings. So we'd be looking at a really expensive electromagnet. So we're gonna do it mechanically with a camshaft.
So here's the motor we got. Got motors, rocket.
Instead of a vibrator motor, the team will use an electric motor, generating the side-to-side motion with an eccentric cam or offset circle, which Wink starts machining.
This shoulder bolt will go in, so we have an 1.25 inch throw, and we'll just put it up like this, and we should be able to tap it right down on. There it is. It worked. When it rotates around, it's gonna move the blade back and forth across the comb. This is a more efficient way to make it more powerful.
Scott, the engineer from Wall, has mounting concerns about how this crazy razor can be used.
The key to it is blades. The blades are determining how close it cuts, how well it cuts, how quick it cuts. We're scaling up the clipper, but we're not scaling up what we're cutting. If we're cutting hair, that's still the same size.
The team is attempting to set the record for the world's largest clipper, but unless they find a record-setting human head, they may not be able to cut hair when it's finished.
You scale these openings up 30 times. I mean, you may cut hair, but you also cut ears and arms and legs, and it's going to be so big, and also the hair is so small. If we don't have a perfectly flat surface everywhere and we have any gaps, or we're cutting a few places,
bend the hair back
and it'll bend the hair there. For this to work, you have to get the hair or whatever you're cutting into this stationary blade, the comb. Yeah. You have to get it in there for this to cut it off. Everything's in the blade.
I'd hate for the screws to come loose, though. It's gonna be pounded.
Coming up on Big.
You ready, Wink?
Will this motor be able to slam the 125-pound steel blade back and forth 500 times a minute? It's time for the team to find out. It's the dawn of day 2.
Hey, Lisa, there's a damn razor chasing me.
Well, Wink, I'm looking forward to cutting off your beard. What'd you think?
My biggest accomplishment in life is growing all this hair, and you want to cut it off?
My ex-husband, I did trim with the clippers. He was rather tall, 6'8", so he just said, can you get that little line? And just kind of went like that. Probably why he's my ex-husband. It was the haircut. It's time to get busy.
The team is hoping to gain a place in the Guinness Book of World Records. The frame will be skinned with 1/8" aluminum.
We're not painting this one. This will be brushed aluminum. It's gonna be just like a sculptural piece. I'm gonna start laying out all these corners that go around this thing.
Fabricating the rounded edges of the Clipper's body proves to be challenging. Project designer Gadget turns to the press brake to form the delicate curves of the Clipper's body. This tricky work calls for a Zen state of mind.
You have to really become one with what you're working with. You get a feel for how it's moving, how it's bending. You know, a lot of people think that you just grab metal and you just work with it, but it's not like that. If you want to do it well, you have to feel it and understand it, and then you can do great things with it. So we can get set up over the heliarch. Because I got to take these, stick them together end to end, then we'll take them and stretch them over the skeleton and get a nice curve.
Gadget may be the one with metal in his head, but it's Lisa who welds it together.
Just hold that on. So what I wanted to have was sort of a natural form, one where the bend's not even the whole way. And I want something that starts out with very little bend and then it'll get more extreme at this point and then it'll go back in, so it's a sexier shape. Like what a clipper naturally looks like.
Take away a little bit of that oxide. I'm gonna put a backing and butt it up and then grind it off. And those are the corners for the shaver. When you weld aluminum, you must take off the oxides because aluminum basically melts at about 1,200 degrees and aluminum oxides melt about 3,700. So we want to clean off the oxides for the purposes of welding it.
Tack that and then I'll bend it down and we'll tack that and then I'll bend it down.
This is gas tungsten arc welding, which is primarily used for aluminum welding. It's a fun process.
Gas tungsten welding uses a high-voltage arc, creating intense heat that melts the metal to be fused together. Gadget adds the ends as Lisa finishes the edges.
Ready?
Yep.
Starting to look like a dang shaver.
Shaver.
The team has taken the body of the Clippers as far as they can. Now they turn their attention to building the cutting mechanism.
So now I'm going to cut the actual cutter blade. Wink's got the guard blade now, so this will be 50 inches. The other one's 54 inches. It's just a little bit undersized so it won't pass the ends when it cuts.
The moving blade will be shorter than the stationary blade, since it will travel more than 1 inch in each direction.
Water-based lube. You have to lubricate and cool the blade as it goes through.
The blade and what you're cutting, right?
Correct.
I'll drill them first, get our slots cut.
Wink draws the shape of the blades on the 1/2-inch steel plates. Then he and Eric cut them out on the bandsaw.
Perfect. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna cut the teeth in this thing. This one here is gonna be the blade that actually does the moving. And we have to have guides.
Wink drills out the slots in the moving blade that will guide it from side to side on bearings.
So it'll be a cam bearing. It'll actually ride in this slot right here. It'll ride on each side of the bolt. What I have to do is make sure the alignment is straight on these.
Wink applies his mechanical wizardry to make sure the moving blade has enough travel so the teeth will completely sever anything they come in contact with.
We've got a 1-inch opening, and then we have 1.25 inches travel, so it's gonna cut a piece every time it moves across.
You know, the thing that Wink brings to the table is he's got real-world experience. An engineer can come up with something that should work, but because of his experience, he can come up with something that actually does work.
Eric cuts out the plates that will guide the blade on the cam.
That's exactly what that was for, so then your finger don't go in there. I just want to say that was for Mr. Campopiano, and my shop class teacher back in junior high school at Cabrillo. He had one leg, and he showed us how to use a push stick. So he'll be proud of me because he kicked me out of class and put me on detention all the time. Come on, buddy.
Frank is determined to explore all of the possible uses for his clippers.
This is a homemade stand for my equipment. I have an overhead machine. I got a 3rd horsepower motor and a cable shaft. This has a pulley drive inside. This is the handpiece. It's got a soft grip on it. What happens is the end of this shaft goes inside, and that is what turns all the power, the RPMs.
Ah, okay. All shears used to be powered by a remote motor like this one. It was our old pal Leo J. Wall who revolutionized the industry by housing the whole motor in convenient handheld clippers.
When you shear a sheep, the Australian method, you do it.
Whoa!
I hold her with my legs only. See, no harm done. Relax. This is the belly wool.
Okay.
We're gonna remove that, put it in a different pile.
Okay, put that over there.
It's low quality. The Australians perfected the pattern that allows you to control the sheep by yourself and remove the wool in one piece.
Now, does the sheep feel good after this? I mean, it seems like it might be comfortable.
You would think. We haven't been able to ask them.
Oh, okay.
So we shear the sheep once a year. We have about 3 inches of wool now after each year of growth. And we probably got about 8 or 9 pounds of wool there for each sheep. The sheared side and the unsheared side.
Wow.
She's all done.
That's great. Just do me a favor, next time you're gonna come by, you know, it's my barber shop, make an appointment.
Now that the sheep is sheared, surely it's time to skin the shaver.
I'm tracing out the sides to this whole clipper unit. We have to put something around it to cover up the insides, and we're doing that with some sheets of 8-foot aluminum, which is basically the same thing I've been doing for over 14 years at my automotive customizing and metal fabrication business. We're gonna put this thing back down, or we're gonna wait?
Lisa and Gadget tag team on the TIG welding of the aluminum body. Gadget has to cut some corners on this project.
Well, I'm trying to see if I can get this metal to shape into these corners, so we'll see how much stretching I can do with it.
Oh, that's gonna look really cool. It's gonna look like one piece.
Wink machines a hole for the cam out of a square of self-lubricating plastic called Delrin to minimize friction. This will act as a cam follower block.
This is a bushing. It's gonna ride on the cam. This is like a follower, but it'll ride around on the cam, and how that thing is oscillating right there, we're gonna get that much movement out of the plate. The motor and the eccentric are gonna be on the same piece.
The motor will drive a sprocket with the eccentric cam on it. The cam drives the cam follower block, which will ride between the plate blades to absorb the up and down motion of the cam, so the blade will only travel from side to side.
That should hold it. Yeah, that'll hold it right there.
Lisa welds the pieces into place, and it's ready to test.
That'll do.
But as they test the lateral motion of the blade, they're about to receive a shock.
Whoa!
But the cam seems to work perfectly.
And it goes over and goes past.
Just a wee. That's good.
And comes back, and it's even. They're gonna think I'm some disc jockey, one of them rapper. Beep, 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 beep.
The team is having fun, but Scott sees trouble on the horizon.
I think there's still a challenge there in getting them to cut well, because there's there's going to be a lot of force, there's going to be a lot of things happening, a lot of vibration.
With Scott's concern in mind, the team proceeds with the next step in constructing the blade mechanism. Scott and Wink install the power plant.
There we go.
That'll work. How centered are we? We're going to eyeball centered, right?
Yeah.
That's eyeball center.
A motorcycle chain will drive the sprocket, gearing the 1,700 RPM electric motor down to 500 RPMs.
The reason the motor's up away from here is because we have to have room for our sprocket and chain.
Will this motor be able to slam the 125-pound steel blade back and forth 500 times a minute? It's time for the team to find out.
You ready, Wink?
Yep. Let it rip.
I think it ought to work.
Well, good. I'm happy with that.
Everything on the back by the motor and the drive seems to be working all right.
Yeah.
All this too is tight still.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm not liking about it is how much, we got a lot of flex out here yet.
Since it works now, it's gonna cut.
Yeah. We should be able to cut anything that's inch and smaller.
That's a heavy chunk of steel. Wink's managed to make that sucker move back and forth at 500 beats a minute. I think he's done a real good job.
Can you put that on again? That felt really good. It's like, vibrating beds.
That's no loop.
Here, try it again.
Next on Big, the team finds a flaw in their radical razor.
The physics just don't work out.
What?
All it's going to do is rip the hair out.
Breathe in.
Eric and Gadget take a big breath at the start of day 3.
Come out. Okay, now punch him in the lips.
The team has 2 days left, and although the motor and blades are already working, there is a problem.
Wondering what you want to cut with this big clipper here.
Oh, man, I want to cut the world's largest mohawk. That would be so awesome.
Because if you want to do the world's largest mohawk, you're going to have to find a man who's the size of the Statue of Liberty.
What do you mean?
Well, when you scale the clipper up,
Yeah?
you need to scale up what you're cutting as well. To cut to the quick, you can't cut human hair with it.
What?
The physics just don't work out.
The blades are too big and the hair is still the same size. All it's going to do is rip the hair out.
I wouldn't want to do that. So I got to come up with something else to cut.
Yeah. Scott was telling us that Wall has a hard time.
Go ahead.
Wall has a hard time making a blade that's 4 inches wide. So we're at 4 feet,
and we don't have their technology.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. I just was thinking an imagination zone. What kind of material could this cut then, so I can know my parameters?
Well,
like, you know.
Somewhere between a pinky and a thumb.
Oh, like twigs and stuff?
Twigs,
Yeah.
something that would be brittle that when we hit it, it'll break, it'll cut, shear off well.
These clippers may not cut hair, but to qualify for a Guinness World Record, they've got to cut something.
We'll come up with something good.
Okay.
Trust me, I haven't let you guys down yet.
All right.
I get back to this guy, so he gets back to work.
Please.
Thanks, man. Unless you guys want to stick around for a haircut.
That's okay.
No thanks.
You sure?
Busy. Got work to do.
Okay. Getting good.
With the hair problem settled, it's time to tend to the teeth.
This is the blade. All the little marks that are there, we're gonna center punch this. Then when we go by that little center punch hole, look, put it in there. It doesn't come out. See, the drill bit goes in there easier and it doesn't walk its way down it.
We've got these center punch marks for making the teeth for the blade. And I'm gonna take a 1-inch drill and drill through it, and then go over on the bandsaw and just cut straight back to the hole that's already in there, and then that's gonna make a 1-inch opening for a tooth. This is a magnetic base electric drill. When you push one button, it activates an electromagnet on this base, and it sticks this thing like it's welded to the piece of metal that you're on. So what we're gonna be able to do is we'll be able to tap the hole with this drill.
48 1-inch holes are drilled for every tooth on the blade.
The holes are done.
The holes are all finished. Now all we gotta do is cut out the sides of the teeth.
What's really important when you're using your hair clippers is safety. For instance, see, I don't get cut because the way the blade's set up, it's got a safety over it. As opposed to a fan that's moving, ow, you can get hurt really bad.
We've already drilled the 1-inch holes on the blades themselves, and now we've made some 1-inch lines in between so we can saw straight to them and the center will come out. That'll be the opening for any twigs or grass or hair we're cutting.
Go for it, man.
Perfect. One down, 47 to go.
Kind of straight.
Straight enough.
This is not going to take that long, really.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
We jammed up. I got something.
There you go.
With both blades tacked together, the team cuts their teeth on the pair of 1/2-inch plates. Now it's time for some dental hygiene.
You gonna start cleaning teeth?
After Wink gives them a good floss and polish, these teeth are ready to chew.
I'm building a 16-foot long, 4-foot wide hair clippers, and I'm looking for something I can trim.
These are spiral cut topiaries.
A topiary, what does topiary mean?
Well, it's a art form altering a plant's natural shape by trimming.
Oh, okay, a complicated chia pet. That I understand.
This one here, this is also a topiary form. It's a Procumbens nana juniper, a flat-growing juniper that's been altered up over a wire and shaped such that it makes out a big loop. This is Schennis terebinthifolius. Yeah, this is Myrtus communis compacta.
Or dead tree.
A dead tree, yeah.
So what kind of cutting instrument do you use, to shape these?
Well, we use hand pruners. There are automatic pruners that can be used, electric pruners, but on a lot smaller scale than the one you're talking about. You might consider maybe a grove, like a grove of citrus trees, and that I've seen there. They naturally haircut these things to keep the accessibility to the fruit easier for the pickers. And it actually helps, too, to sweeten the fruit. It allows more sunlight to penetrate to the bottom, and they ripen faster.
So I could be doing a good deed.
Maybe so.
I like this. It sounds good.
While Frank finds food for the fiendish clipper, the crew is preparing its toothy grin for its first meal. The moment of truth is at hand. Will the blades cut anything at all? To find out, Wink samples some indigenous flora for sacrifice.
So, we'll just cut instead. Ready?
Keep your fingers clear.
She got a short brush now.
Are you trying to tell me something about my teeth, Wink? Hey, Wink. You're cutting off my brush.
Coming up on Big, the team closes in on setting a Guinness World Record. Day 4, and our demons on wheels join the rest of the crew for a powwow.
What up, dude?
It's the last day of the build, and the team tries to resolve some remaining issues, like how are they going to actually use this massive monstrosity?
The whole thing is in case this thing starts coming apart, I wonder if it'd be better to have a remote switch on.
Well, that's what I was planning on.
Cable.
That's the one that we'll be using. This one's just a decorative switch. It's just like
the other
volume
thing
knob.
is a pick point for this thing to pick it up before you get this sheet welded in.
We're talking about racing on this side.
Since the clippers are too big for hair, the team decides to mount it on a backhoe and give the trees a trim.
So that it pins into the points on a backhoe.
You need the pick point up here. The cutter goes like this.
We're talking about having it so you could actually, like, trim a hedge. You'd pick it from the bottom. Imagine the look of that on the end of a big old backhoe. That way you can do faces and tops. So we sort of take it from right where the belly is.
Okay. So then the switch is going to be a fake switch on the side.
Don't you think?
And we're going to make it just like this one.
That's sort of a wall signature switch, so it might be cool to come up with something like that. Oh, we also need to make this guard, which is probably the most important, is because we need to make something that approximates that whole big blade on the end. Because that motor, it attaches at the edges, right?
Yeah.
Do we want to hold it up in here and see what it looks like?
37.5 or 38.
With a plan in place for mounting the clippers on a backhoe, the team prepares to install the motor and blade assembly.
If there was a pad in there,
yep,
welded onto that, and then it's set right on right there. Right across there, that thing ain't going nowhere.
Eric shears some mounting plates for the shears. The plates will be welded to the motor assembly so it can be attached to the frame.
These are going to be welding points for the blade to the body of the clipper. Well,
it's time to put some bite into the big clipper.
So hold on. This is the stationary blade or the comb blade that we're putting in place now. We You're gonna weld that on, and then that's not coming off anymore. When this starts to move, this back end of the motor is gonna try to move back and forth a lot, so we're gonna have to brace this across the back a couple different ways to keep it locked down. Then we can just take the moving blade and slide it in there and bolt it in. We gotta go across over to here because that thing's gonna do this. We put one piece right along the back, that'd be perfect. We're up against that motor.
Beat it.
This 30-to-1 scale gargantuan groomer is really coming together. Scott grinds his teeth, while Gadget and Lisa finish the skin. As Lisa welds the skin to the frame, she's careful not to repeat an old mistake.
My hair caught on fire once. I was being a smart aleck. I was in high school and I was welding for the first week overhead. And I said, something's burning. And I was asking the guy, hey, you smell something burning? He said, no. So I tried to be a smart aleck. I said, well, whatever's burning, it's burning good. And then I started welding again. I saw this little flame on my shoulder and I realized, it's my hair. And I ran and knocked off my welding helmet and I did this. And that part fell on the ground. I ran to the bathroom. I had just got it cut, a Farrah Fawcett. It was kind of funny. I came back the next day, eek. Hair is very flammable and it burns quickly. So it's important not to have too many chemicals in your hair, especially hairspray, that'll add to that. So you usually want to keep it back in a ponytail. I wet my hair and put a little gel on it. If not, I have a fro in the morning. But I don't think I'll let Frank cut it, though. He's too much into mohawks.
Wink slices a sheet of aluminum that will soon become the blade lever.
This is the lever for the comb. I'm scaling it up 30 times as big as what we have here, just for looks on the side of it. It's not going to activate the comb, but it'll look realistic when you look at the razor from the side.
If it's like the other clipper, it should be down in this corner.
Oh, down here?
Yeah.
And then up like that?
Yeah, kinda. I'd put it up just like that.
Okay, hold up.
You just about missed it. Just a second.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Does it have it?
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's as tight as I can go. Does it need to pull it in more?
Yeah.
Okay, let me do something.
There. Good.
Ready? Here we go. So I got it?
That's got it.
Is it pulling it in?
Yep.
How is it?
It's real good, except right where the diameter comes and meets that. We ought to put one more in.
Where at? Over here?
Right here. Straight up.
Right there?
Yeah.
All right. How are we?
Beautiful.
Good?
Good.
All right.
What is this, Eric?
Good.
That's good stuff. Smooth.
It's actually lubriblade and what's good for metal and stuff.
You put that on fish tacos, it makes them go down good.
You think we can
The stationary blade is lubricated before the moving blade is bolted on.
If it don't fit on that cam block, we may have to turn it 90. We'll just draw them down and see what they look like.
Watch.
And if we wanted to, we could plug it in and try it.
Okay, season finale.
My hair in season
Come
finale.
on, Wink, right here. Hey, Frank.
Oh, no.
Eric and I made you a little gift.
Oh, really?
Okay. You got a big set of clippers?
Yeah.
We made you a big set of shears.
Oh, man. These things are great. Say. These are so cool.
We're just about there.
Really?
Yeah, we need to finish mounting the rest of the blade
Okay.
with these metal pieces. We need to cut out and put on this cover right in this little window here.
Okay.
And then that's it.
In a final finishing frenzy, the big barber shop is booming. Gadget forms a big sheet of aluminum into the clipper's guard plate. Scott helps Gadget attach the plate. Then a final strip is placed to close the housing.
Look at my barbershop quartet. Hard at work.
Goodbye, big hair, it's going, baby. Farewell, big ponytails and curls. Honey, we're gonna clip your hair and groom you. Never to see you shaggy, never gonna see you shaggy. We're gonna fire up big clippers. We will not regret a thing, So Eric and Wing, Lisa and Gadget, husbands, goodbye, with Snake, goodbye, Frank Bang, follow my pussy pig, bye-bye, pussy pig, bang, bye.
Ready? You ready?
Oh, yeah. It's that time where we do the moment of truth and see if we cut our thickness of hair, of what hair would be on something of giant size. Do the honors, Gadget.
Hands clear. Ready?
Okay, it cuts up a dried eucalyptus branch. It cuts turnip greens and even cuts helpless plastic dolls. But will it cut real trees when Guinness comes to certify the clippers as a world's record?
It's really funny from this end.
I don't know what's gonna happen with this world's record with Guinness, but I'll tell you, these things are seriously dangerous.
It always feels great every time we complete a build. High five.
How does it feel to be involved in the world's biggest hair clipper? Pretty awesome. This is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime event. This has got to rank right up there with one of the greatest things I've done.
This is a pretty cool build for a very simple household item. At this scale, it's really deadly.
Don't cut anyone's hair, because it could be fatal.
Some cosmetic touches are added to the clippers, just in time for Judgment Day. Stuart Claxton from the Guinness Book of World Records arrives to record the clipper's vital stats.
Hey, Stuart.
Hi,
How you
Frank.
doing, buddy?
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
The clipper body comes in at 17 feet by 3.5 feet. And the blade?
4 feet and 6 inches, exactly.
Okay.
But the stats won't help if the clippers don't work. Next on Big. Will these clippers cut it? Did the big team set another Guinness World Record? The orange trees at the Solar Gems Ranch in Fillmore, California are in need of trimming. Citrus groves need to be cut so both the pickers and the sun can reach the fruit. It also allows the tree to consume less from the soil and gives the fruit a higher percentage of the nutrients. Before grooming any groves, Gadget must clamp the clipper on a backhoe.
Hold it.
We're gonna get ourselves a Guinness World Record, and that's a cut, oh yeah.
All the way.
Stuart Claxton, the guru for the Guinness Book of World Records, is on hand to witness whether this clipper's bite is as big as its bark.
Just about now, I'm ready to start clipping. Gadget, go for it!
That's one big piece of hair.
That's one big piece.
On still? Get some more. You want me to get it cranked?
There you go. All clear.
Let's go for this. That's a good orange.
Okay, Frank. I've seen the clippers. I've seen them working. So it gives me great pleasure to officially recognize them as the world's largest clippers, a new Guinness World Record.
All right, thanks a lot, Scott.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Hey, guys, you hear that? Yeah!
The 30-to-1 scale hair clipper set a Guinness World Record big time. Frank and the team built it big. Now they can go home.
Goodbye, big hair, it's going, baby. Farewell, big ponytails and curls. My honey, we're gonna clip your hair and groom you. Never to see you shaggy. Never gonna see you shaggy. We're gonna fire up big clippers. We will not regret a thing,
So Eric and we, Lisa and Gadget,
Buzz,
put by my pink pussy and